Many outsiders imagine that scientific research is conducted by scientists who share a single, unified, foundational grand theory that more or less explains everything about their field. In truth, science often proceeds by constantly questioning, doubting, and reconsidering ideas once considered established. Well, sociology, like many other sciences, does not currently possess a unifying grand theory, and it's unlikely to acquire one soon. This slide series helps us to see why this is a strength, not a weakness. For a variety of reasons, Americans and other nations whose culture are derived from British law and custom have difficulty thinking about the social world using flexible ideal type concepts. Instead, they're trained and accustomed to thinking with concepts as rigid categories. Categorical concepts have rigid boundaries and often are paired with other, mutually exclusive and equally rigid categories. Think of the contrast pairs of right and wrong, good and bad, legal and illegal, at fault and not at fault, gay, straight, liberal, conservative, and you get the idea. You are looking at images drawn by the artist Etienne Blanc that attempt to depict the consequences of the widespread use of categorical concepts in the social world. In simple societies or in simple situations, it may be possible to actually divide all cases up into clean, discrete categories. But as the world becomes more complex and the cases proliferate, the categories cannot hold, as mixed cases and people who are blended don't fit within the conceptual scheme that is thought of in terms of rigid categories with law-like rules. Many objects in social reality do not neatly fit into one and only one category. When scientists think of social things in terms of categories, they do violence to social reality, forcing conformity to a preconceived conceptual scheme. This cuts the world of social reality up into pieces, and rather than understanding the world, categorical thinking searches for cases that fit or do not fit the system of categories. Sociologists find such creation of rigid boundaries to not represent the reality of the social world. And like the individual shown in Etienne's drawing, we are pounding against the limitations of our own conceptual skills. In sociology, the theorist who solved the problem of categorical thinking most decisively was the German Max Weber, who developed a theory of ideal types that allow for multiple perspectives. Multiple perspectives are needed to understand large social realities in the same way as the blind men in the famous story The Blind Man and the Elephant require multiple perspectives to understand what an elephant is. Each man in the story grabs hold of a different part of the elephant, and one describes it as similar to a snake, another similar to a tree, another similar to a spear. And the point is that there is no position from which an elephant or any other large thing can be viewed in its totality. Multiple perspectives allows for social reality to be respected and preserved and cared for rather than jammed into conceptual schemes. Concepts that are used in multiple perspectives exist above the social world, allowing a view of it. They aren't carving up the social world instead. Think of theoretical perspectives as viewing platforms or observation points like this crow's nest at the top of a ship's mast. Such platforms provide observers with superior understanding because they are elevated above the scene. From these perspectives, important things can be viewed, understood, and anticipated. Think of perspectives as points of view, positions elevated above the social world that allow viewers to survey a broad scene. Modern complex societies are too large, complicated, and multi-sided to view from a single position. Rather than reducing reality to a simplified scheme of categories, sociologists who use ideal types and multiple perspectives respect the complicated, over-determined quality of the social world. Individuals and cases that do not fit neatly into one and only one box can be analyzed from a variety of standpoints using a variety of conceptual tools. In the same way that a mechanic uses a variety of tools, wrenches, screwdrivers, and pliers in order to fix an engine, so too do sociologists use a variety of concepts, ideal types, and perspectives in order to understand the structure of the social world and the things that are wrong with it. Sociology now, 100 years into its existence, has created many ideal type concepts that are used to help us understand modernity. Your textbook emphasizes two important ideal type perspectives on the social world. One is the conflict model, the other is the order model. These two perspectives provide very different views of the complex reality of modernity. Now, as sociology develops in its second century, we are likely to develop ever more complicated, ever more powerful perspectives and ideal type concepts about the social world. So try to practice this semester thinking in terms of ideal type concepts, letting go of rigid categories which cannot contain complex reality, and instead thinking in terms of flexible, multiple ideal type concepts as tools to understand the modern world.